Hey there, everybody. PTPOP. This is not my live stream for the day. I'll stream live again tonight. I'm just heading out to get Mark Devlin out of the United Kingdom about his book, No One's Dad's a Plumber. And it got me thinking about how we're so manipulated by the media and by Hollywood and in the entertainment industry. And it made me start asking myself about this Charlie Kirk situation. And it's a question I want to ask myself was, and I think many of you, I want to ask each of you, had any of you ever heard of Charlie Kirk before? I had no idea who this guy was. I had confused him with a guy named Nick Fuentes, who was another personality on the internet. Nick Fuentes is kind of similar, but he's far more extreme with his opinions and his ideology. But he's cut from a similar cloth, I think. But anyway, I had never heard of Charlie Kirk. And when he died, I thought it was Nick Fuentes that had died. And I had just discovered Nick Fuentes about like a month ago. I'd never heard of him either, and for some reason he popped up in my feed. And, you know, he has some really extreme views of African Americans and things like that. Or he does have them. But Charlie Kirk, I had no idea who this guy was. I didn't know who he was. I still don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. It's unfortunate he passed away the way he did. If he really died. But come on, guys. I mean, the whole thing, the entire thing is so bizarre. Not bizarre because of the way he died, but just bizarre the way it's been handled. It's not been handled any way anybody's murder has been handled. There's no reports from the hospital where he was taken. I guess they came up with something now. After people bitched and whined about it, they came up with some report from the ER doctor that took his body or something like that, where he claims he found a 30-06 bullet and it lodged in his neck. Come on, guys. I'm not a gun expert, but a 30-06, if that's what he was really shot with, would have blown his neck clean off, in the words of Harry Callahan, Inspector Callahan. His head would have been hanging by a thread. It's a massive round, and it's a high velocity round. His neck would have exploded. There would have been back spray. There would have been all kinds of things. There would have been a cloud of red mist that came out the back of him and peppered that white tent he was in. But the whole thing is so, it's worse than a bad movie. Here's a hottie. Where did she come from? There's kind of this punk rock gothic girl walking through the apartment here. And I'm like, oh, is there a hairstyle salon here? She's probably from the School of Dance. And then you mix in the eulogy that Erica Kirk gave with her by the casket, and the little thing she gave, that little eulogy she gave in his podcast office, with like she's a Stepford wife or something. And if you haven't seen the Stepford Wives, it's a movie. There was a movie in 1974 or 75 called The Stepford Wives, and there was another one in 2004. And just look them up. And then you go to this memorial service that's in Arizona at the Arizona Cardinals football stadium. What the hell was that, guys? I mean, this is what it comes down to is he was a podcaster. He was just a guy who, like me, I don't have a big voice, but he had a big voice where allegedly he has some extreme views, which he did. He said some things that contradicted everything some of Christ's basic teachings. So they hold this guy up now that he's dead. They hold him up in high esteem. They prop him up as this amazing Christian man who had such strong Christian values. But he was no one. He was really, they had this service like he was the Pope, like the Pope just got shot or something. You know, and this service was just like every name in the book was there. I mean, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, and the president, the vice president, and it was sickening. It was sickening. It was downright bizarre. Like, I swear, the day this happened, I started to see that I truly believe that half this country, at least half this country, has lost their minds. They have lost their minds. And I almost got tailgated, almost got smashed into by a guy in a Kia Soul. I don't want to die at the hands of a man driving a Kia Soul. Especially a fat slob like that. Jesus Christ, dude. And I know there's people out there that will see this and go, you don't know Jesus. This is what people try to tell me. People try to tell me that Eric or Kirk didn't show any emotion because I don't know the Lord. And I don't know the strength the Lord can give one person. You don't know the Lord, Pete. Well, number one, if you're truly a Christian and you know the Lord, then you're passing judgment on me. Right there, you're defiling the Lord's name, and you're not living up to his expectations of you. You're not living up to what he taught you by judging me, saying, I don't know the Lord. Okay? I've been down the whole born again thing. I've been down that path. I've been down that road. I know all about the Lord. I'm not an expert in the Bible, but I know all about the Lord. And I personally think half this country has completely lost their marbles. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what denomination. It doesn't matter anything. People have completely lost their shit. And it's been shown. It's been shown to the world. When Kirk died, the veil was lifted, and everybody's mental instability was shown to the world. Here I am, Lord, I'm crazy. Here I am, world, I'm batshit crazy. There's a cop behind me. Yeah, good thing I slowed down. And I say this because I'm very perplexed by everything that I've seen. And people will say, well, Pete, you don't know the Lord. You don't know the strength. You don't know the love that Charlie had for Jesus. Charlie, some of his viewpoints were extreme contradictions to Christ's teachings. They were. I mean, when you get on an aircraft and you see an African-American pilot and you think to yourself, I wonder if he's a DEI hire, and I wonder if he's trained well enough to fly this plane. Really? And people go, oh, he's a Christian. He's a good Christian. He's just a good Christian. That's all he is. You know, you can't question him. Oh, and just the blind faith that people have in other men. The absolute blind faith people have in other men. The idol worship in this country, a fallen world. The world is so fallen, it's unbelievable that they will sit there and kiss the boots and the ass of Donald Trump and his administration and this Charlie Kirk fellow like they are the second coming of Christ and they are our saviors. People, you're worshiping fallen idols. These are not men of Christ. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that Donald Trump knows the Lord in his heart, because he stood at that podium during the memorial service at Scottsdale Arena, and he said, I hate my enemies. Less Charlie Kirk, but I hate my enemies. I hate them. Whatever. The veil was lifted for me on the whole Trump dude, whoever he is, whatever he thinks he is, the whole 9 yards. That whole administration is batshit crazy. I'm sorry, Biden was no good, but this guy, woo! We're looking at some whack-a-jobs-a-doodles. And I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why is that cop? Is he still following? Is he coming? No, he went straight. Okay. Bye-bye, police officer. And what do you all think? Did any of you ever heard of this guy, Charlie Kirk? And did any of you see that memorial service at Scottsdale Arena and you go, oh my God, what is this? Pyrotechnics? Are you kidding me? Pyrotechnics? When his wife came out? What was that? And they very rarely talked about Charlie. It was all about, it was like a big political rally. And yes, I watched it. Yes, don't tell me I didn't watch it. Yes, I know they mentioned Charlie. But it really wasn't about Charlie. It was about stomping on our enemies. And, oh, I hate these people. And we will fight and we will rise up. Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil. You know, that whole thing was going on. Are you kidding me? This country, and I just talked to Mark Devlin, who's in the United Kingdom, and nobody really heard of Charlie Kirk in the United Kingdom before he died. He had asked a lot of his friends, who was this Charlie Kirk guy? Nobody had heard of him. I'd never heard of him here in the U.S. And I don't know Charlie Kirk from a butthole, okay? But I'd honestly rather spend the day talking about my butthole than talking about Charlie Kirk. I guess he had a voice for the youth. Oh, God help us, our poor youth. As impressionable as we are when we're young, you got that guy trying to talk critical thinking into the minds of the young. Oh my God. And the whole investigation after he got shot, the misdirection with patsies that are running around. This what's his name? Tyler Robinson, is that the shooter? Whatever his name is, and then the old guy that freaked out and God, what is her name? Candace Owens. Candace Owens acted like she lost her husband. I don't know what was going on between her and Charlie, but what was that all about? Candace Owens is on this, and I think they shut her up too. I've seen some of her subsequent videos, and she's more mundane now. She's more calmed down. I think somebody sat down with her and said, hey, you know what? We got a call from somebody, and they said, you better be quiet, or you're going to have, a date with the dirt doctor. I can't say anything. I got to talk in code on here. And this whole thing with Trump threatening to pull the license of ABC because they don't kowtow to him, and he's gonna pull their license because they got rid of Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I don't like what they did to Jimmy Kimmel. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's talented. I can't stand any of the late night quote talent unquote. But to 86 his contract, because of what he said, that the MAGA people are trying to pass off the shooter as a left-wing transgender homosexual, when in fact he was come from a MAGA family. I don't understand why that got him fired. It got him fired because Donald Trump called up the head of ABC and said, I'm sorry, no more of that. I passed an executive order. Me and Melania were in bed the other night, and we said, no, we're going to pull the license of ABC and get rid of Jimmy Kimmel. Guys, I don't know what we're witnessing. This is the strangest thing. And he'll deny it. Trump will deny it. Oh, I never did that. I never called up ABC. Well, somebody contacted ABC and said, enough, or we're going to make sure your license gets revoked. So they put Kimmel back in. Rightfully so. I don't think it's the place for late night talk show hosts to, be talking about politics. But the thing I don't understand is that all the late night talk show hosts are backed up by the left. They're trumpeteers for the left. And all they do is spew hatred for the right. And all the shows do that. Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, all of them. They're all talentless, unfunny goofballs. And I'll go down the conspiracy rabbit hole with you. I don't think they're real comedians. I think they are put in place. And they're shows for the CIA and the government. They're just complete shells and mouthpieces for the left-wing CIA. Or some faction of the government that is only out there to, create chaos. You guys want to go in the coffee shop with me? Maybe my favorite barista will be there. She's hilarious. There's a car. Look at this car. Look at that. Got some type of dune buggy thing here. Look at that, man. I gotta show you this. Why is the engine running? Look at this. We got ourselves a dune buggy here. Here, let me do this. Let me lock up my, let me lock some things up here. All right. Where can you find a better investment than in Donald Trump's hairpiece? Yes. That is very cool. He's getting in his car. Look at that. Hi there. I think that's a manual too, and he's got a coffee in one hand and he's shifting with the other. That's a man, people. That's a man. That's a real man. There. I'm gonna get a medium cafe mocha with whipped cream, hot.
Anything else today?
505, all right. How have you been doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Good. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You're my favorite barista.
Thanks.
I went to your competition down the street, and
Yeah?
you won in Olmsted Falls.
What do you think?
I'm coming here.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Everyone has the right to their opinion, but I like yours.
They're too expensive, and they only had 2 sizes of mochas. Wait for my cafe mocha here. I don't think I have any of my cards with me though. I'll put this in. Oh yeah, please. I forgot to say that. There's another place down the street too, on Bagley, And their cafe mochas are horrible.
Rising grind? I knew you were.
Yeah, I think so,
Do you
yeah.
want to stop her?
No, it's all right.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm glad you like ours.
Yeah, I love coming here. Thanks so
Good.
much. Yep.
Do you have it today?
Have a good day. Bye-bye. So that is my coffee shop. Let's see what I have in it. This is a very dangerous parking lot. People come flying through here. But when I'm talking about the programming, this isn't just about Charlie Kirk. This is about the conditioning of an entire population into mass hysteria, religious psychoses, Cleveland Browns psychoses, Cleveland Guardians psychoses. There's people here that live, eat, sleep, and breathe these football teams that are terrible. And it's one of the problems I have in a luggage rack on my roof. And, Beatles psychoses, there's, Taylor Swift psychoses. I mean, people will do anything for their favorite bands, for their favorite movie star, for their favorite politician. They will die for these people. I don't need the money. No, I do. Leave me alone. I've got this annoying thing in my car where if I had the radio on, even if I didn't have the radio on, every time I start my car, the radio turns on. I hate it. So I don't listen to the radio anymore. I don't listen to music. I rarely listen to music. I used to sit for hours in my bedroom with friends and listen to records. Not anymore, my friends. I don't do it anymore. I don't get any joy out of music. Some of it I do. Sometimes I'll put on some jazz or I'll listen to some Billy Joel or James Taylor and stuff like that, but very rarely. I've got a couple CDs in the car here that I never listen to anymore. Because it creates a weird psychosis. Music is designed to control you, to manipulate your emotions, to manipulate your mind. You may not want to believe that, but think about it. Think about any time you put on a song. Your emotions change depending on the mood of that song. If you got a song that's in a minor key, it's designed to make you feel sad. That artist, whoever wrote that music, is trying to make you feel sad. If it's up tempo, they're trying to raise your heartbeat. They're trying to get you excited. They're trying to get you involved in the song. The entire music industry is designed to hook you. To hook you into the song, to draw you in, so you listen to it, so you'll go buy it and make them billions of dollars. But yeah, this whole last week, I am very, 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 very disturbed by what I've seen and witnessed from people I know and from the general public I've seen on TV and on the internet, with their extreme support for a man they've never met, most of us who never knew, and to watch the Republican Party and the Trump administration back this guy who allegedly died by being shot through the neck with a 30-06. Guys, I've shot a 30-06, man. That is a big mother of a round. It's a big round. And it would have obliterated his neck. And the report from that rifle, the sound the rifle made, if it was a rifle, we're told it's a rifle, didn't sound like it was anything bigger than a 223 out of like a AR style rifle. It was a pop compared to a boom. I've got a friend who was a military guy. He was retired from the Navy, nuclear submariner, military just military. He did some things after leaving the military. He did like consulting work for the military. Let's leave it at that. And I haven't talked to him since the shooting happened, but he said, yeah, there's something weird with this because you can't break down a 30-06. It's not a gun designed to be broken down. It's not a gun designed to be taken into war. It's really designed for hunting animals. It's designed to bring down big game. And in order to remove the barrel from the receiver, the whole thing, you need a screwdriver. You need, I think, an Allen wrench or something. So you're trying to tell me that this guy who allegedly 86 Charlie was up there just calmly with his screwdriver and his Allen wrench, and he's taking it apart and putting it into backpacks. And this is not a small rifle. I mean, this is like a 4-foot-long rifle. The whole story, the whole entire series of events, from what happened, what we're told happened, what's happened since, and the crazy, weird, twisted support from the MAGA people is horrifying. It is. I'm mortified. I'm literally mortified by what I've seen go on. It's just, it's terrifying to watch what's happening. And you might say, well, you don't know what you're talking about, B. You have no idea. I do know what I'm talking about. I used to be, hysterical over the Beatles. I used to be this freak for the Beatles. I was absolutely obsessed with that band. And I was obsessed with every one of them, all 4 of them, and their genius producer and their genius manager, and they were all geniuses, and I listened to records nonstop, and I had posters and books and movies, and that's all I talked about, and you couldn't talk any sense into me. You couldn't get me to talk about anything else. It's all I thought of, and everybody I met, I kept trying to convert them to become a Beatles fan. I converted my mom, I converted a couple friends. Beatles. And then one day I woke up and I went, oh, wait a minute. What was I doing there? What was that all about? I woke up and I'll always mention his name, Mike Williams of Sage Quay Radio. He opened my eyes to the lie that the world's been told about these 4 guys that were in a band called the Beatles. He completely opened my eyes to it. And it's not just, this isn't just about Charlie Kirk, but I think the way I've seen the country react, the way I've seen people who profess to be Christians to see that they're not even aware of what Christ's teachings were. They're not aware of it. People out there that profess to be Christian don't even know the teachings of Christ, and they don't know Christ in their hearts because they're angry and they hate you if you don't like what they think, and they hate you if you don't love Charlie Kirk, and they hate you if you say anything wrong about his wife. God forbid you say anything about the grieving widow. Oh, the tearless grieving widow who has a makeup artist. She must have the best makeup artist in the world. She hasn't slept in weeks, but she looks like $1 million. She looks like a chubby Barbie doll. And these Christians that come up and say all this stuff, that you don't know Jesus, you know the strength of the Lord. You mean to tell me, I made a video talking about the murder of my father and how it leveled me. And all people could say to me was, Pete, you don't know the strength of the Lord. Just because you're weak doesn't mean, just because you're weak doesn't mean that other people aren't strong in those situations. They immediately run to her aid, to her side, like she's their friend, like they're friends or something. Do you really think that Erica Kirk, if your head had been shot with a bullet and you're laying on the ground, do you think she'd come over and help you? Do you think she'd dare get that pristine white suit and a little black blouse, speckled with your blood spurting out of your arteries? Do you think she would? Do you think she'd even bother to call 911? Or would she climb onto the arm of a big, strong security guard and say, oh, save me from the bullets, Daddy. Mr. Trump, Daddy Trump, come save me as I nuzzle your bosom in grief. I'm Erica Kirk, and I'm nuzzling the bosom of the president because he loved me so when I was 17. Well, she was just 17, and you know what I mean, right? Give me a goddamn break. I will nuzzle the bosom of the president. I will nuzzle him as he pats me and kisses me on the cheek like a loving father figure. A loving father figure for the whole country to worship and bow down to. Eric! Oh my God, I can't take it. And I promised one of my viewers said, please stop and just continue talking about call center stuff. And I'm sorry, dude, I can't just talk about call center stuff. There's not that much to say about it. I think I've milked and beaten a dead horse. Now I'll keep talking about it. I always come up with stuff to talk about. But what more could be said? Other than I'm making a documentary about it, and I'm starting it this weekend. Starting this weekend with my friend Kevin. But that may be the final chapter in the call center thing, is to get this documentary out there and see how it does. And after that, I think I'm done. But it's going to take me at least a year to make this documentary. It's not going to be done before next summer or fall. Damn, those are some big pumpkins. Damn, look at those things. They must have been near a nuclear power plant. Erica! Oh, poor Erica. I didn't know who you were before, but now I feel for you. My heart bleeds for the widowed Erica. Oh my God, what's wrong with all of you? None of these people give a shit about you. None of them do. They want your tax dollars. They want your votes. They don't care if half the country's living in their cars right now. Did you see the thing right now that there's like 5 million Americans in the country that are permanently living in RVs? Not mobile homes, not double wides, RVs, campers. Some of them because they can't afford regular housing, but we're sending trillions of dollars to fund this war against Palestine? Are you kidding me? And you're like, I love Trump. I'd suckle his teat if he put it in my mouth. Yes, Harry Chettenall. Love him so. Eric, what have you done? You're so beautiful and stoic in the time of strife and trauma. Yes, I cry for Erica, who's now the self-appointed CEO of what is that ridiculous thing that he owned? True Point, or I don't know, pseudo-Christian.com or something. Oh Lord, help me, please. Meanwhile, they lie about the unemployment rate. Nobody can find jobs, and AI's taking over everything, and nothing makes sense anymore. When this event was like the watershed moment for me, where I went, whoa, this country really is screwed up. I didn't see it before. I didn't see it clearly. I saw some of it, but it's in focus now. Crystal clear that half this country is off their nut. Completely off their nut. Loonier than a football bat. Half the country, the cheese slid off their cracker eons ago, and there's no saving them. And don't even bother trying. I'm not even going to bother trying to save anybody. And it's not just this Kirk thing, it's the whole thing, how nobody can see that you're constantly manipulated. There really aren't two parties. You've got the illusion of two parties. You're just voting for the same garbage over and over again. They just label it different things. They call it Democrat, or they call it Republican, or they call it Independent. It's all the same garbage. And it's always, except for Obama, it's always white folks. It's always these toothy grinned white folks with a nice toupee and nice looking skin that stand up there and lie to your face, and you're like, oh yes sire, 3 bags full sir, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, oh anything, he's going to save us. And they never save us. We don't have any idea where we're like, what are we, like $60 trillion in debt? Nobody can tell us, the taxpayer, where they took all of our taxes and what they're doing with it. Yet there's people living on the streets. There's homeless people everywhere now. When I was a kid, granted I'm 60, when I was a kid, you never saw homeless people. The first time I saw a homeless person was when I drove to downtown Cleveland, going down to a Browns game. And that was the 1980s. And then after that, the greatest population of homeless people I ever saw was when I went to visit my brother in Southern California, and he took me to San Diego to see a San Diego Chargers game. There were homeless people all over the area, just crawling with homeless people out there. But now they're everywhere. I live in like a rural area. It's just, there's homeless people crawling, rolling around with shopping carts with all their belongings all over the place. This isn't a rare thing anymore. It's common. But our money, where's our money going in the country? They don't care about you. These people, doesn't matter if they call themselves Democrat or Republican, left or right, they don't care about you. Do you really think our president says he's Christian because in his heart he knows the Lord? Or is it because he knows he can win over all of your votes? You radical right-wing Christians, born against. And he did it. He convinced you all that he was a God-fearing Christian and you should vote for him because he's going to make America great again. Oh, he's doing it as I speak. He's making it great again. That's why I can't find a decent job. Oh, I love him so. I'd suckle on his hairy teeth. Come on, move, dude. You can see, guys sitting there, these goddamn people in their Jeeps with their little rubber ducks in the windshield. These are other people that are off their nut. Anyone that buys a Jeep, sorry, if you're a Jeep driver, you're buying a piece of junk. These things are junk. I was looking at them, and they have horrible transmissions in them. I don't get it. Whatever. I'm gonna buy me a Jeep so I can go off-roading. Even though I'd never go off-roading. I make people think I do go off-roading with my rubber duckies. Yeah. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm gonna log off here. I'll be on tonight at 8 Eastern Standard Time. If you're all still here, if you've been raptured, thank you for watching. I wasn't raptured. I guess I get to stay down here. Has anybody seen anybody disappear? Were they taken? Let me know. All right, bye.